God, what a time for a black man to be alive. Living in the struggle while trying to keep our composure. Killing each other while trying to look for that exposure. We all just wanna make it, we should do it as a team. Build each other up and they can't even say a thing. Me and all my brothers just stuck together like glue. It's us against the world and you know what we finna do. Woo! Pop a bottle, we in here for celebration. We just wanna be the leaders that's pushing the generation. Take a seat and find your zone for the topic of conversation. Find a way for a positive revelation. Now this really ain't the time to be thinking about yourself, cause we just a bunch of hustlers that's trying to give out some help. We turn the cubs into lions inside of the den. Come and join the brotherhood if you really just wanna win. Hey.
Hey, this your boy Daniel Lyons Evans, and we are live inside the den. And the next episode starts right now. As always, this is a live, unrehearsed, unscripted show. And to my right, I have a very special person. You all have been hearing him every week, but you haven't been seeing him. This is Antonio, a visual arts guy. And so this guy here is responsible for doing the whole intro video and all the flyers you see every week inside the den. Real good friend of mine. I've been knowing him for a few months now, and he kind of become like a little brother to me. So, you know, he told me when he first started helping me out this season that he wanted to be on the show, and I said we'll pick a week for you. So here we are, Mr. Antonio.
Right here.
All right, brother. So I know that you got some projects going on this year. Talk to me about your 2022. How do you want that year to look, and what steps you're taking to get there?
All right, so 2022 looks like Peace. I got a show called Peace.
What kind of show is it?
So it's pretty much about it's about a boy named Peace who pretty much can't find peace for nothing. He's a top of his class, great student, but his brother gets killed in the street, so now he has to make a decision whether he's going to go out and find his brother's killer, or is he going to stay focused on going to college and making it to the NBA. So that should be it's going to be very interesting on how we make that happen. I got a lot of music videos, a lot of new music coming out this year.
So you guys are going to be rapping, singing?
Yeah, rapping.
Okay.
Yeah, so.
I ain't never heard you rap before.
Yeah, man. I do all right. So I got that going on, and then podcast coming up called Off Topic.
Okay.
That's going to be centered towards artists, creatives, business owners, just kind of getting inside people's head and, figuring out what it took to get where you're going. And, we might get off topic here and there. That's the name of the show.
Off Topic, right?
So, clothing line coming out, branch off of the podcast. So, a lot of big things
Off
happening.
Topic, yeah. Gonna be the clothing line?
Yep.
And what type of clothes?
So I'm thinking basketball jerseys, like just the jersey look, kind of, sort of. But you never know how I might go with it, man. I'm so creative. I might go off and do all kinds of different stuff.
Okay, so you got the podcast, the clothing line, and then you said Pieces is going to be
It's going to be a series.
A series?
Yes.
Okay. How many episodes you got in mind?
It's going to be, how many episodes altogether?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
And you already got the.
So right now I've got probably the foundation of about 10 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
So now it's time for pretty much be doing the writer's room, but that's pretty much the first season. So I'm gonna do like 10 episodes per season, maybe 8, depending.
I think that's like the standard.
I think that's like
the standard for a good show is like 10 episodes.
So I don't know, man. I'm not gonna say how many seasons I want to do because I don't know how far this thing might go.
So who are some of the writers you're gonna be working with to get this? Or you're the only one?
So right now it's just me, but I've got another good friend of mine. His name is Pierre Fleming. He's an artist. He's going to be helping me with the writing. So once we kind of start getting the cast together, then we're going to start actually doing a little bit more. But right now it's just me and the writers.
Okay. Any idea of anybody particular you want to work with on this project to try to like Get you like a little dream team and all that kind of stuff?
Well, right now, I've already got, I've got, my crew, Criticisms. I've got, just a couple of buddies that I got, but I don't really got a lot of people in mind. I think I'm just going to do casting calls. So once I get that script in mind, I'm just going to do casting calls, and then I've been building connections, so I really don't know where it's going to go. This is like the writing of it, so I might not air the show till 2023, but it's in the works for this year. I want to start filming by the end of the year.
So what are your plans as to how you're going to pitch the show? You got anybody in mind you're trying to land it directly to?
I want to try to pitch it to Netflix because, if it's a good pitch, Netflix will pay for the camera equipment and all. So you get everything to do what you need to do. Only thing I gotta do is just bring the people, bring the people and all that good stuff. So that's the idea.
So you've already researched all this?
Yeah, I've already been doing a little bit of research, and I haven't done a ton of research, but I've done a little bit. How to go about it. I know you got to do you have to be able to summarize the entire story in like a paragraph, and it has to be interesting. And they have to be like, but you have to tell the entire story from beginning to end in like a paragraph, be able to summarize it.
Really?
Yeah.
To get on Netflix?
Yeah.
And so do they have their own director, or do you got to bring your own director?
All of that stuff is, I got to research that, but I'm pretty sure. I'm not sure, honestly. Something I got to do a little bit more research on.
Well, you definitely doing the action by if you draw coffee while ago, because but you don't drink coffee, so. But you definitely going in the right direction, being able to, do the research and put everything together. Everything starts out in your mind first. You got to put it together in your mind, put it on paper, and that's how you start, formulating how you're going to do it. After reading it a couple of times and everything, you'll end up, making it longer and things like that. And depending on who you get picked up by, whether it be, a second season or not. But I definitely, excited to hear what you got in the works, man. I'm excited to hear about this podcast you got going that you're gonna be working on. You getting a lot of practice. Right now on everything. And shoot, man, I'm super excited, man. I like to be a part of excellence, man. Black excellence, excellence in all forms. You know what I mean? So, which brings me to my next point. Man, we talking earlier. Now, I made a post on Facebook about I didn't even post it. I reposted somebody else's post, so I ain't gonna take credit for it. But it's basically talking about who do black men vent to. And when I read the post, I reposted it because I know that a lot of people are going through, depression, mental health and all that kind of stuff. And, one of the reasons why initially last year when I started talking to Ashbel and Caleb and TJ about, about doing something, I came up with this idea so that it can kind of help bridge the gap with mental health and dealing with men who might be going through something. A couple of comments I got on the post was nobody. Black men kind of feel like having a therapy session, kind of makes them weak. You know what I mean? Because, you sit there and talk to somebody about your problems, at the end of the day, that person is taking in what you're saying, and then they have a crazy way of taking the information and then labeling it or making it seem like, trying to categorize or judging you. And so that's one of the reasons why, black men don't go to therapy. So I'm gonna ask you the question, in America, in your age group or in your world, your whole life, who do the black men vent to?
Well, I would say really it's nobody because of it's nobody and his vices. Like we all got like a vice. Like a lot of black men will have like a bottle or you know a blunt or something like it's a vice because when you go to people and you tell them your problems, like, oh, you weak. Oh man, you know what I'm saying? What you crying for, bro? And that's the energy a lot of us get unless you got really good friends. Other than that, it's like nobody. And it's supposed to be your spouse. It's supposed to be, you know what I'm saying? It's supposed to be your friend.
Yeah, it's supposed to be your significant other, supposed to be your spouse.
But it doesn't always go that way.
You know, because sometimes when you know, ask somebody, when somebody says, "Tell me the truth,"
You know,
what does that really mean?
what is that? Yeah.
Because, you know, they say the truth hurts.
Yeah.
But they also say the truth will set you free.
Yeah.
How many people have the truth hurt? How many people have the truth killed? How many people have the truth put into a mental state? And so when you were saying, you're talking to a kid, don't cry. That's
Yeah.
you know that makes you weak. As a race of people, you know, we've been programmed a certain way.
Yeah.
You know, we've been programmed to complain about, or to vent is to complain, and to complain just makes you weak. But you know, I used to feel a certain way about that, like before.
Yeah.
The older I get, I learned that having strength is not always handling everything by yourself.
Exactly. Yeah.
I had to learn from a place of depression that it's okay not to be okay, because that's a part of, you know, who we are as people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so if you teach somebody that venting is weak or makes you, you know, it's just unfair, because if I'm looked at as being a superhero, but I never tell you what my kryptonite is, and one day all of a sudden the kryptonite is around and I don't know it's around, and all of a sudden I get weak and I just can't function. Like, well, what's going on? I ain't got no power.
Right.
Because, I didn't know you had this kryptonite. I don't like that. Why do you think, well, shoot, I don't want you to know I got a weakness, but I need you to know I got, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
So it's just really important to me that you have not the whole world, but you know, you got to have at least one or two accountability partners that you can go and talk to without it being
without being judged. Because what happens is, for one, as black men, it seems like the world hates black men, hates us, right? So we already got that whole that I got a guard up already, because if whatever I say is gonna be like I'm looked up under a microscope. Everything I say, it's like people are watching. I'm waiting for me to slip up. So you gotta pretty much, it's like you gotta pretty much know how to like maneuver through that. You know what I'm saying? Because people don't care about how you feel about certain things. You gotta, but it's okay to go to therapy. It's okay to get help. It's okay to be. It's like you said. It's okay to not be okay. It's okay to go and get that extra boost of whatever you might need, because all the time, you know, growing up, you might not get that same love. So it's okay to get it late. But us as black men, we're afraid to get it because we're gonna be judged about it.
Yeah, I found out that the true strength of a man is admitting that you need help.
Yeah.
It was a story of a guy. The guy was with his son, and he never, told his son any of his weaknesses. He used to always just kind of curve the child's question with something else. And so he took his kid to the pool. And the kid wanted to go to the deep end. He said, no, you're not allowed to go to the deep end. You stay down here in, the kiddie pool.
Yeah.
didn't really tell him why. He just told him what to do. Didn't tell him why to do. So the kid ends up getting a little bit of courage and he ends up going down to the deep end and he gets in the water and he begins to panic and he begins to drown. Now the father of this boy was standing on the edge of the pool panicking. And the lifeguard had to go in there and save him. And when the boy came to, he was like, Dad, why didn't you come and say, why didn't you get in the pool? Why didn't you come and save me?
Yeah, it was supposed to be you to come here.
Yeah, I mean, you were just standing there. I saw you standing there, but you never came to save me. What? Why? And so the man has to tell his son that I can't swim is why I was telling you not to go in the deep end.
Yeah, because you didn't say that.
Didn't say that. Because he felt like would have made him look less of a superhero if he told his kid that your daddy can't swim. You can do everything else but swim. You know what I mean? You just have to really top right. Yeah, so yeah, like that. Yeah. You just have to be and I would just go ahead and say strong enough to know your weaknesses.
Yeah.
Isn't that ironic that your strength comes from knowing what your weakness is?
Yeah.
That's a strength
Yeah.
to know what your weakness
Exactly.
is. So who are some people that you talk to when you have issues or when you want to vent? Like top 3 guys in your life right now that you can always go to no matter what it is and they'll give you something to help you.
Well, I don't really go to a lot of people. I got my boy Ashbel, and that's pretty much it. I mean, it's just me.
Okay, so that's just the one.
Yeah.
Okay. And does that hurt? That help?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Give it to me straight, but.
I have a couple of different people that I go to, and I have them for different reasons.
Yeah.
It's a reason why Jesus went to the streets to get his disciples, because he needed some street credit when it's time for him to go back to the streets. He needed to have them boys that's going to say, hey, set you claiming, oh, you from Jerusalem, man. I got some boys that say, hey, that's true. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
We from Bethlehem over
yeah. So, when you're dealing with any type of, relationship or business or any type of ship where you're going to be, involved with somebody else, it's good to have more than one person that you can talk to, because these people serve a different purpose in your life. So one of my accountability partners is my brother, my kid brother. I can talk about anything, and it's really a judgment-free zone, because he is the closest thing to me talking to myself.
Yeah.
Like we that close as far as blood and all that kind of stuff. So like he can tell me something and he just gotta tell me the first part, and I can do the rest of it because I know, what kind of dude he is. Right. He's the one that'll give me the real, he'll give me the raw, but he also have a fine line where can sugarcoat certain things to give you the confidence you need, but it's at a needs no basis.
Yeah.
And I got my other boy, my partner Junior, in the military with him. He's the one that's going, he don't care if it hurt my feelings, he gonna give it to me right.
It gotta be said.
I have one guy who I go to when I just wanna feel like something. He gonna pump my head up and he gonna give me no pushback. He just kinda like this guy right here. Yep, that's the yes man. Everything I say, he gonna agree with it, and that's fine. So I don't call him when I want to be done, when I want to get some real. Let me call this guy.
Yeah.
And I got another guy who's like my spiritual brother. He freaking, I felt you in my spirit. I just want to pray for you, brother. And then I need that. You know what I mean? So it's a couple different people that I go to for different things, and it's all because you got to keep that mentality going, man. I mean, I think some people discredit or they undermine the true struggle of a man.
Yeah. I agree.
True struggle of a man. Like trying to keep that mentality at the same time as you trying to, save the world, or you trying to be the best in the business, and like you said before, it feels like the world doesn't like us, but you have to be able to operate in the environment that's not conducive to what you're trying to do.
Exactly.
That takes a lot of energy. You know what I mean? And so, like, what are your thoughts on how a man should seek help, and what's the,
Well, the first things first is you gotta want help. Like, you gotta know that you're going through something. You gotta know that you gotta really be tired of your own shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
You gotta
You get sick and tired of being sick and tired.
Yeah, it's like, okay, because once you maneuver out all the other obstacles and it's just you, and then you're like, okay, I'm still messing up. Oh yeah, I'm the issue. And then that's when you decide what's the next step to take. Everybody don't need therapy. But a good friend is just like having a therapist. You don't necessarily gotta pay somebody just to listen to you. If you got a good friend, then you straight. So it's kind of like going to therapy.
But does it matter what the what type of situation the friend is in, or would you take advice from anybody that's a friend?
I mean, it depends on if that friend can separate. Don't give me advice based on your situation. You know what I'm saying? Like, so if that's a real friend, though, a real friend of whatever, regardless of whatever they're going through, it's like, if you need advice, they're gonna give you that advice, but it ain't gonna be based off of how I'm feeling about my situation. It's gonna be based off of, this is just advice. So
Yeah, and I believe that's what people. I believe that's what people kind of get lost in translation when you're dealing with who's qualified and who's not qualified to give you help. You know what I'm saying? Would you trust somebody about relationship advice who is?
you said, say it again.
Would you trust somebody with relationship advice who's single?
Well, it just depends on that person's mindset, because everybody who's single ain't single by definition of they're a bad person. They just might be single by choice.
Mm-hmm.
So therefore, relationship advice from a single person ain't always bad. Just because they're single don't mean they don't know how to be in a relationship. Don't mean they're not a genuinely good person. Don't mean they don't know how to treat somebody. So yeah, you can get a relationship advice. Now, you can't get a relationship advice from somebody who's bitter. You know what I'm saying? Like, anybody who's like, if you're single and bitter, then I can't. You just hate it.
Yeah.
But if somebody's just single and they living their best life and they actually genuinely happy, yeah, you can get relationship advice from them.
Yeah, and when I talk to people, or if somebody talks to me, I'm looking at a couple of different things to validate. Is it biased? Is it coming from a place of hurt or a place of experience? You know what I'm saying? Because those are the things that really, makes me understand, like, just because we're guys, I might not always agree with what you say.
Right.
Sometimes you got to put yourself in a woman's shoes, and then and feel this pain coming from a woman. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's a lot of people who feel like, oh well, if you ain't making $1 million, or if you're not a millionaire, you can't give me no financial advice. If you're not a doctor, then you can't give me any type of advice. And if you in a situation is, father, husband, brother, how do you get to the point where, you know who to help you in a situation? Because I think that's one of the problems that we're having with black men not being able to vent is the people that we're venting to.
Yeah. Guard your peace.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because if you coming to me to vent about something that I'm currently going through, or I'm already like overwhelmed with, then you can actually like overwhelm me with your problems.
Yeah.
Or if you're looking at trying to be in a place of peace, and then you're giving out these negative vibes and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Now I have to protect my peace as well. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
But I'm actually certified to handle people's drama because it just takes that person to be able to listen sometimes, just to kind of help people figure out what they're trying to do or what they want to do. A lot of times the problem is inside your own.
Yeah.
Is inside your own.
And that's why I said it earlier. Once all the obstacles are out of the way, and there's nothing left, and it's just you and you, and then it's like if you're still not progressing, now you got to look in that mirror. Now this is where the real conversation comes in, because it's like, oh, so all right, now what you doing wrong?
Yeah. So how do you feel about people who, you have some people that's very confident in what they do,
Mm-hmm.
and then some people can accuse them of being narcissistic. What is your thoughts on someone who's being accused of being narcissistic just because they are actually confident and they're like what are some of the things that have you ever went through anything like that in your life?
I mean, no, not necessarily. I mean, I've always been like, I haven't been the most confident, but I ain't never been the most shy person in the room either.
Yeah.
But I think people just don't know the definitions of a lot of words, and they just hear a bunch of people say it. So what happens is people get narcissistic, confused with being, oh yeah, you overly confident, oh yeah, you narcissistic, oh you trying to tell me what to do, oh but it's like people just don't know what the real definition of narcissistic is. So
I think I read it. One is a elevated perception of one's self-worth or something like that.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
real talk, man. If you was to go to 100 people and ask them questions, 90% of people have a highlighted or version of one's own importance.
But as you should. It's not being arrogant.
It's not.
That's like you're supposed to be like. If I'm not this to me, then who wanna, like, if I don't believe in me, like, think about it. It's like if Superman didn't believe he was Superman, then we wouldn't care for Superman.
Yeah.
Same thing with Batman. Same thing. You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
like if I don't believe in me, like if I don't believe I can do this, then why would you believe I can do it? Like, dang, this man don't even believe in himself.
Yeah, that'd be elevated sense of one's self-worth.
Yeah.
Like every mother in America feel like their kid can't live without them. Am I right or wrong?
Yeah,
But elevated sense of one's self-worth.
Yeah.
I can't. If I don't do this, my kid ain't gonna have me do nothing.
Right.
I thought you be telling me that ain't nobody else can do this job but you.
You ain't the only one.
You know what I'm saying?
Fathers,
They even have that same attitude toward the kid's father.
Yeah.
Like, can I watch my kids today? Nah, I can't let you watch them by yourself. Why? Because you don't know what to do.
Or either half of the time what it is the I don't want them over there, or I don't want them around who you around type of, and it's like.
But it's some people that actually feel like the daddies can't take care of kids.
Oh,
Like the same way a mom. Like when the daddy watch the kids, they be like,
Paranoid.
the daddy be on the phone on the video game, and the kid be over there, and they be like, all right, hey, close the door. It's like, you been with your daddy again, huh? You been hanging out with your daddy. Cause you ain't had no meal, you ain't had 3 meals a day, you ain't been changed and all that kind of stuff. So, but that just goes back to, when people feel like, they just need somebody to talk to just to even validate if what they're feeling is real or if it's just, a figment of their imagination.
Yeah.
Like sometimes you need somebody to tell you, like, from their perspective, what do you see from your perspective, so I can look at it from my perspective and come up with some type of happy medium or some type of way to say, I want to improve myself. You know, talking with Ashbel a few weeks back, he's somebody who challenges me. You know what I mean? Challenging me, but it challenging me in a way to get better. Better in the fact of I want to be the best version of myself. So coming from your point of view, what does this look like? And people give their opinions about how they think, you know. So I value those kind of people.
Yeah.
You know,
because you can't get that everywhere.
You can get a yes man, you know, almost any
Down
damn
the
way.
desert, man. They come
You
pick
know
them
what I
up
mean?
like pennies on the side of the street. Man.
But somebody who really like studies a craft or researches things
and won't accept nothing less from you.
and see, that's somebody that's valuable to have in your life.
Yeah.
And so, in a way, to not appear to be therapeutic or therapy session, you know, we have our freaking sit downs and we talk. You know, you've been here for 12 weeks or 12 episodes now, and you've heard a lot of conversation behind the camera, and you actually even gave your opinion about some of the topics from behind the camera, and we talked and we experienced everything. In your opinion, being in this environment, you know, getting ready to start your own podcast, what are some of the things that actually motivated you to want to do that, and how you see yourself as being part of the solution for the depressed and the solution for the people who don't have a voice? Like, how do you see yourself transitioning to that type of
Man, just well, I'll start with what you first originally said. So really just the whole process, man, just from me doing the logo and me making the video, and it just really was just like a dang, bro, because I've been saying I was going to do a podcast for years, but I hadn't had a topic. I hadn't had a what am I going to do. I hadn't figured that out, but I said when I get it, I'm gonna know. Like when it hit me, it's gonna hit me. And then I started doing the podcast with you every week. I'm behind the camera every week, and then it's like, oh man, like I'm doing it. I'm doing as I'm editing the videos and all that. I'm like, oh yeah, I can do this all day. This is easy, you know. So that definitely kind of helped transpire. But what I think is gonna help me really in the future is me getting involved with other people's podcasts as well. Because you were saying you got some people that want me to edit theirs. Just kind of getting involved with more podcasts and doing more of my thing. I just quit my job, so you know what I'm saying. It's all business from here.
Yeah, quitting that job would be definitely a booster.
Yeah,
because then your hunger change.
Yes,
you know you got to go out there and get it.
See, now it's hunting season.
A joker who got it and a joker who trying to get it. Two different things.
It's almost like the job situation is like when you're in a job, it's like a lion in the zoo. You know, every day you got to wait on that man to come and bring you your steak. Versus when you get out, you back in the wilderness. Now you got to go get it.
Yeah.
Now you have to go hunt for it. Now yeah.
But I think the hunting is what makes you
more hungry.
Yeah, hungry because. When you get it with the sweat equity, or happen to go out there and get it, out of the mud. Once you make that, that million or whatever you're trying to do, whatever you're trying to accomplish, you're gonna appreciate it more because it wasn't handed to you.
Yeah, because you had to go get it.
That freaking lion in the zoo. He getting that meat given to him every day. If something happens and the zoo flooded and he had to go out there on his own, he gonna starve to death.
He don't know what to do.
Because he ain't got nobody to bring him nothing. But the one who out there in the wilderness right now, who actually getting it on their own, and then you turn somebody wild into a caged animal, then they're gonna be a little bit different because they done been used to getting it on their own.
Yeah.
And now they got somebody bringing it to them 3 times a
day. Yeah, that's gonna be.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and then the other situation is the person who's being bringing it to them, and now you have to get yourself. So, I mean, you just have to find your happy medium and be able to.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So I got, like I said, the clothing line, off topic. That's going to be dropping within the next 2 months.
2 months?
Yeah, 2 months. We still got the inside the den, clothing line, and all of that going on. So yeah, it's all up, bro. It's all up
Man.
here.
I said,
2022 is gonna be
man,
exciting.
whenever you know, great minds come together, man, ain't nothing you can do, man.
Yeah,
Nothing you can't do. That's why it's so important that we have these times where we actually able to sit down as men and talk, like a think tank.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Where we just sit here just vibing and talking about things and seeing how to get done. So I'm making connections with guys so that I can connect other guys together, and so eventually, you know, it'll be like one big. I don't know, since I've been dealing with, Lord Fly and his crew, dealing with, you and what you bring to the table, I'm really starting to, like, value people more. You know what I mean? When someone give you their time, that's the one thing that they can't never get back, is their time.
Mm-hmm.
People give you their time, they sit down with you, talk to you, help encourage you, help motivate you, and things like that. I don't take that for granted.
Right.
People can be doing anything they want to do in the world in their own time, but they choose to do what you did. But that's something that we don't take for granted. But I like to connect the networking, man.
Yeah.
When I was in that table reading with those guys, I've seen all walks of life in a big circle. They didn't know who I was, and I didn't know who they were. And he was reading this script for this movie, and I'm like, it was new, out of my comfort zone, being around a bunch of strangers and going over something, for the first time, when you like, man, how is this supposed to be? How does it say? I had a lot of questions. Like, hey, first of all, what is the attitude of this character?
Yeah.
Second of all, what's his demeanor? Because you got two different versions of this person. It can be passive or it can be aggressive. You know what I mean? So and just trying to find out, the attitude of the project.
Yeah.
It goes a long way. So I'm looking at these guys, man, and the girls, the ladies that's in the thing, and I'm like, this is what, I could be, I can see myself in this realm, you know what I mean? And so I'm just pushing, man, trying to make it happen, you know what I mean? Doing what I can. In 2022, man, I want to start a book publishing company. Lord Fly was here. He got a book and everything. So I want to do something like that too. I feel like I'm more to what meets the eye when it comes down to certain things, and I want to definitely be able to be involved in that kind of stuff. So having you on the show, man, having you, a part of this production, man, is really like inspired me, man, because I wasn't really big on like being in on TV and nothing like that. That just wasn't.
Putting yourself out there.
Man, I grew up in the church, man. I grew up in a music group, a gospel music group. And I remember we'd been on the news, we'd been on TV, and I just always didn't like the sound of my voice, or just didn't like what I seen. I seemed like I always try to critique myself and like, man, this is just horrible, you know what I mean? But getting comfortable, being uncomfortable, Asheville challenged me on that last year. About being comfortable, being uncomfortable. So I'm working on some things this year to better myself. Still working on getting enrolled in some speech therapy classes. Because I'm going to be doing some more public speaking and things like that. Working on doing this. I want to get this book publishing company done.
Yeah.
And I do want to start I would say a low budget record label, just to use as a training ground for people who are trying to shop
Okay.
shop they market for some
Yeah.
type of contract and everything. So I know you asked the
Sorry.
it's the phone in the front on the left. It's the I know you as the photographer.
Mhm.
I know you as the visual effects guy.
Yeah.
I don't know much about the rapper. Like, what's your rap name?
Okay, so it's Soulful Purpose.
So that's Soulful Purpose. Okay.
Yeah.
And your
It's SOULFBL.
so it's built the same way as your business as Soulful
Yeah,
Design?
it's spelled the same way as my bed. Soulful Designs is the same thing. Soulful Purpose was actually first, and then
So Soulful Purpose is your rap name.
yes, that's my artist name.
All right. What is your what type of message?
So I'm more like, I guess people would say, they would call me a conscious rapper, I guess.
A what?
A conscious rapper, I guess.
Conscious rapper?
Yeah, but no, it's geared more towards finding yourself, being confident in you and stuff like that. Just like my forte.
So do you have an actual album out, or you got songs, singles? and
Man,
stuff
the
out?
last project so I just got back into music. All right, the last project I did was in 2000 and I was 22, so 6 years ago. So 2014, it was called No One to Look Up To. It's about my dad, right?
It's like a dark story.
Oh yeah,
behind your dad.
that was dark. It was I was pissed, and it's crazy. He heard the album, he heard the project, and he was like, damn, you was mad as hell at me, won't you, Tony? Damn, I like that though. That's dope. Versus,
So can we talk about that, or that's
no, that's
So tell me about this darkness coming from
man.
the
So
relationship with your dad.
so
Go ahead.
okay, but yeah, so yeah, me and my dad, we got like a love-hate relationship. I was mad at him for a while growing up, him being an alcoholic, and me and my older brother having to carry him in the house nights at a time, and me not understanding the whole story of why him and my mom weren't together. Because the picture that was painted was all him. He just left. That was the picture that was painted. Now, between the ages of 14 to 21, I wanted to fight my dad. Like,
14 to 20, okay.
yeah, I held a grudge, but I was pissed. I was heated. And not to say I wasn't even around him around those years, because I would go to his house, but only just to go hang out with my cousins. And so once I got my first son, is what really made me say, you know what, let me go talk to this man, because I'm pissed and I don't even know why I'm really mad for real, because I ain't never sit down and talk to him. So I actually sat down and he gave me the whole story, and I can tell it was like, okay, this was genuine. Like, didn't shelter none of his parts out, like, not saying, oh yeah, I was this and your mom, like, didn't bad talk my mom, none of that. So it's like, okay, so now the story that I heard was like hogwash, and language studies. So, but then that's what helped create that project. So I mean, it's
the good part, or
the both, because it was like, what you didn't do for me, you actually did for me.
Okay,
Like,
gotcha.
the fact that you weren't there, I'm actually glad, because I don't know if I would have.
And that is the number one, I think, misconception of when a man, is growing up without a father, and then he becomes a father himself. You have to forgive your parents at some point, because they are who they are and they created you, but you have to understand that there's no like manual that
It ain't.
parents. So, and there's a lot
Trial and error.
a lot of men, start having sex at a young age and get somebody pregnant, and then now you're 14 years old,
Yeah.
then got somebody pregnant, then what do you do at that age? How do you become?
You don't even know how to.
So whatever decisions he made, with him and your mom, and you was the results of it or whatever.
Well, I got 4 siblings, so.
Okay.
Yeah, but the thing about it is sometimes you have to know when it just doesn't work. Like, my mom and my dad are cool. Like, they actually have a good relationship. Like, there's no feelings involved. It's like, okay, when we got kids together, they can actually have a conversation. You know what I'm saying? Like, some parents can. Some co-parents can. Some people can't co-parent. But I was mad at my dad for a minute because it's like I felt like he abandoned us, but he couldn't even do for himself. Like, he was that down.
Mm-hmm.
So therefore, once I had my first son, I was like, yo, I never want to be that down.
And and kids have a way of bringing you back to reality.
Yeah.
Like I talked to my nephew, last season, and he was somebody that grew up bitter toward his dad.
Yeah.
His dad, his mom, got divorced, and his mom remarried and everything. He would never get a new dad a chance because he's like, boom. And so, I told him that, you'll become what you despise. If you're not careful,
Yeah.
you become what you despise. Remember coming up, man, saying a bunch of things that I didn't like about certain things and about certain people, and then I ended up. And when it happened to me, I had a flashback and said, I said I would never do this.
Well, okay. So to kind of piggyback off of what you just said, you will become what you despise. So I already told you, from 14
To 21.
to
You
21,
want to put hands on.
I was mad, right? But 14 is also when I had my first alcoholic beverage. So as I'm being mad at him, because he's an alcoholic, what I don't know is I'm about to do the same thing.
Did you know he was an alcoholic at 14?
Did I know he was an alcoholic?
Uh-huh.
Well, yeah, because we had nights of dragging him in the house, and we knew he was an alcoholic. It was half of the arguments from him and my mom, but we didn't know the other half of the arguments.
And because see, that would have been like ironic if you didn't know
Yeah.
he was an alcoholic.
Well, I definitely.
And then you started drinking alcohol, and then you became an alcoholic
Well,
yourself.
I think there's all of those years of, because I kept a close eye on my dad. Like, I can see, like, because my youngest son, he's like daddy's boy. So it's like, that's how I was. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I watched him a lot, I watched him take a lot of drinks. I watched him drink a lot of alcohol. A lot. Like, it'd be times where he think nobody see, and I might see just growing up. And we do things that we see, not what we are told not to do.
Yeah.
So, I'm mad at him for being an alcoholic. I'm mad at him for, not really being in the house. And then as I'm growing up, I'm drinking more and I'm drinking more, and to the point when I get to like 22, and I'm actually becoming an alcoholic. Like, I'm overly drinking, and I had a long spell of actually being an alcoholic until I'm like, okay, until I really forgive my dad, I'm going to beat him. Until I forgive him for whatever it is, because at what point do you say, okay, that's enough, enough is enough, now you hurt your own self?
Yes.
People forget about things. If somebody did something wrong to you, they're going to forget about it. So if you stay mad about it, then you ain't hurting them no more.
Yeah.
Like, you can be mad about it for a few minutes, and be like, okay, yeah, you will feel that. But after a few minutes is up and they done forgot, it's over with. Now you just mad.
Mm-hmm.
Hurting your own self.
Yeah.
So
This is true. This is true.
Once I learned that me holding that grudge against my dad was not helping me at all, only hurting me. And I still, you know what I'm saying, but it's the focus. I used to have that. So man, I'm not even upset with him. I wish he would be doing better things, but you can only bring a horse to the water.
You said your dad was an artist, right?
Yeah, he's an artist. My dad is talented.
A beast.
He's a beast, but he's the problem. But he won't. He's stuck in his own mind. He's stuck in a low vibrational state, and it's like he's 50, bro. Yeah.
Wow.
I
So,
wish the best, man.
how do you see yourself now as a father versus? I know you said that you started drinking alcohol at 14. you from 14 to 21, you went to fighting, but after that drinking spell,
Yeah, so
did that change your thought?
well, then I started going through life. So I still was dealing with alcohol. Now at a certain point, it was like, okay, but I had already forgiven my dad, but I was dealing with the alcoholism from just holding on to that grudge for so long and not letting it out and not getting it out of my system, if that makes any sense. But I don't hold any grudges against anybody anymore. Like I look at life like, okay, you want to be in my life, cool. If you don't want to be in my life, cool. I'm gonna be alright. We both gonna be fine either way.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Like I say, man, it's hard being a man and trying to figure out what a good man is when you haven't had the right example to follow.
Right. Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
I consider myself blessed because I was raised in a house with mom and dad.
Yeah.
So although my dad might be, two different people. It was one way whenever he was raising us, and then now he's a different way. The version that I got was the disciplinary version, and I appreciate that. You know what I mean? Like my dad, he done a good job with me and my brothers for that point. The other areas but that's not my concern because my understanding as a man and who I am as a man came from watching him coming up.
Yeah.
So if the version who I am, if I'm not a good man, then go talk to the source because he's the one that instilled all this in me, and I picked up and some things I learned on my own, as being in the world. But
Well, I also believe that there's a cutoff age too, like the way it's like, cause, all right, so real quick story, right? So, told you I was mad at my dad forever, right?
yeah,
So one of my cousins, me and him get into a little argument. I wanted to fight this dude. Like he said, my dad wasn't never around. So he said, that's cool, right? And then I was mad. I was pissed for a minute, right? I was pissed for a minute. And then, after a couple of years, I just hit him up. And I'm like, yo, you know what, bro? I appreciate you for what you said. Because I didn't even think about it like that. It's like, because for so long I was like, okay, it's my dad's fault. It's my dad's fault. It's like, okay, bro. So you 20, so you in your 20s now. When do you start blaming your dad, bro? Because after a while, you got to start making your own decisions. It ain't about your pops no more. Okay, yeah, they raised you the way they raised you. But after a while, okay, once if somebody don't know that they're doing something wrong, they get a pass. But the very second that once you know right from wrong, you don't get a pass no more.
no,
It's like, if you stepping on my toe and not knowingly, I'm not going to be upset. But then after I say, hey man, you stepping on my shoe, bro, you stepping on my feet.
you keep doing
And
it.
you keep doing it, okay, now you're doing it intentionally.
Yeah.
Now you know what I'm saying? There's no pass, no ain't no, oh my bad, none of that.
So my age was 19.
19.
I decided to go into the military. At this point here, you done got me this far. I got to get the rest of the way on my own because I know that I can't. You're not responsible for my mistakes.
Right.
If I die now, I got to either decide if I'm going to heaven or hell on my own. It ain't your job no more. So certain people have to really, understand that it's all about accountability.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, what are you doing okay, your dad done this and done that. Okay, what are you doing to change the narrative? Or are you going to let this be the thing that
stop you?
determines the rest of your life? Or are you going to be the person who uses your dad for excuses? And
Or for the reason why you didn't do what you
So unforgiveness is like this. Unforgiveness is like being in jail and you being the actual prison guard. The prison guard is he a free man or is he is he in prison? He has to watch you.
Yeah.
You in jail, but you free because you in your mind doing it, but he can't even go home because he gotta
babysit.
He gotta watch you. So forgiving this person gives you the keys to go home. Cause now you ain't gotta watch him, what he doing. You done forgave him for it. Okay, move on.
Yeah,
This guy done
it
already.
is what it is.
So when you deal with people with unforgiveness, man, you're holding yourself as a prisoner. Like you said before. They done already forgot about what they did to you.
Yeah, I forgot.
And you still holding on to it. So
You
you
still talking about it.
You got the keys to the jail cell inside the jail with you. And you
can let yourself out at any moment.
Anytime. You still stuck.
Still stuck.
Mad at him because he on the other side of the fence. And he going home every night like he ain't got a care or problem in the world.
Yeah.
Because he done forgot that he done even done anything
It's
to
all
you.
it's all about mindset.
Perception.
It's all about perception, bro.
You know what I mean?
Like at what point? And once I got to that point, that's the moment where I started becoming better, and I started actually focusing on my craft. And okay, you know, my dad didn't do this way. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna do this. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna. So instead of me following in that footstep, okay, so what can you do to change it? Because that's the only thing that matters.
The only thing that matters.
The past doesn't happen. It's already done.
Change.
Yeah. So what are you gonna do to change it?
Yeah. Yeah. You have to have that made up mind that you're not gonna let somebody else dictate who you are as a man and how you turn out. Because now you got keys of your own.
Yeah. Exactly.
And you keep blaming your dad for how you are effed up, then the kids are gonna be able to blame you.
Yep.
And you're gonna be like, well, it ain't on me, it's on my daddy. So it's your granddaddy's fault. And they'd be like, well, I don't even know my granddaddy, so how you blame it on him? I don't even got nothing to do with him.
Exactly.
This is you. Then they be blaming you.
Yeah.
The cycle starts all over again.
Exactly.
So when you say, look, this is all me.
The thing is, people want to focus on the problem. The problem is not. It's better. The problem doesn't matter as much as the solution. Okay, it happened. All right, so how do we get over it? Like, how do we fix it? Like, how do you fix the issue? You know, because most of the time it's going to rely within self. Anyway, so.
Yeah. And that is the number one key. That, you know, when Michael Jackson made the song, "The Man in the Mirror," you know, you gotta look in the mirror first, and you gotta change yourself.
Yeah.
You know, Biggie Smalls said, "You can't change the world until we change ourselves." You know,
Yeah.
so you have to be willing to make that change as a person
Yeah.
in order to affect change in your world.
Facts.
Talked about this a couple weeks ago. You're gonna be the thermostat or the thermometer. The thermostat sets the temperature.
Yeah.
The thermometer tells you what the temperature is.
Yep.
And that's in life. You know, you can let people tell you what the situation is, or you can tell them what the situation is.
Yeah.
You can set the tone.
To the tone.
And how you set the tone in your life with your kids is, like you say, you hold yourself accountable. And then you have people that is going to challenge you to hold yourself accountable.
Right.
And not all the yes man that agree with everything you say.
Yes man don't get you nowhere.
Nah. They part of your fan club though.
Yeah.
But they're gonna be the same one that when you're on the streets homeless say, hey man, keep your head up, bro. You already good. All right, I can't do nothing for you, but I can but you sure is funny. Like, help me, man.
Yeah.
You know? During all that.
Yeah, right.
But help me, you know. But shoot, man, that's awesome. So in this song that you wrote about your dad, like what are some of the do you have?
Okay, so
Give me a line.
The lyric
bars.
the bars that got him. And this is I made this when I was 22, but what got him was I said I said something about forgiveness. I said, but I never needed my dad to have Christmas. So when you heard that, and I never needed my dad to have Christmas, it's like, damn. Like, think about hearing your son say that to you. But it's like, man, you cold, though. He was like, man, you did that. Like, but it was like coming from a place of hurt, but still like, I like where you put that energy.
And that song you said you wrote 6 years ago?
Yeah.
Is that going to be on
No.
this new project?
No.
Has that ever been released? Or
So it's been released on SoundCloud.
Okay. So
So it's actually out. It's on SoundCloud. But it's old music. I'm been done with it. I'm over the whole situation. I wouldn't even know how to talk bad about my dad anymore. I'm gonna keep it real, bro. I have no animosity, no hate, no anger, none of this. So it's like for me to even, you know what I'm saying? I made the music when I was feeling that way. It got me out of the situation. All right, boom, I'm done with it. Now I got more music that's coming. I'm actually working on.
it reminds me of Eminem, man. You know, a lot of his early music, he was bashing his mom
Yeah.
so long for, you know,
For everything.
everything.
Yeah.
And the older he's become, you know, he said he can't even listen to those songs anymore. It's embarrassing
Yeah.
that he put that much energy on discrediting and bashing his mom, and now he got kids, he probably got grandkids now.
Yeah.
And he was like, I understand what you was going through. I didn't then, but now I know that, you know, you was on drugs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Drugs make you do stupid stuff, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but now he looks at, he's like, I can't even, I can't blame my mom. I'm embarrassed that I can make these songs about it because, you know, everybody in the world think that his mama is the worst mom in the world because of them songs.
Right, exactly.
You know, people like songs, they like melodies, they like music. If you put something in there, they ain't gonna believe it. You know what I mean?
You know, it's music is you know, music can have a way of getting attached to you sometimes.
Yeah.
You don't even want to. So yeah.
So what's the inspiration for your new music?
Okay, so the inspiration is this entrepreneurship, this breaking free out of the matrix, as you would call it.
But you know they say if you don't use it, you lose it. You still got some skills.
Oh yeah, still do my thing.
You still get down.
Yeah, I still do my thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So I never stopped doing music completely, but I stopped putting music out. Like I was. So I was still making music. I got music stored on my old laptops, old music that I
You
made.
kind of made it seem like you were just like ain't done music in 6 years and
Well,
all
that was the last time I dropped music.
Yeah.
No, I've been doing music still. Like I've always, like any place I get, I gotta have a studio. At least in the house. Like I gotta be able to have that outlet, even if I'm just BSing around, even if I'm just freestyling or something. But I always keep my skills sharp because you never know when you might need it. They say it's better to be a warrior in the garden than a gardener in the war.
That's deep.
So it's not my quote.
So you still a warrior.
Gotta be the warrior. You
Still
gotta
able to get down.
You gotta be ready at all times.
I don't know why I can't. I guess it's because the other stuff you do. I have a hard time pitching you as a rapper. Like I had a hard time pitching Jada One as a rapper because he's actually a school teacher.
Well, it's funny because it's like most people that know me will be like, I can't. Like before I started being a videographer and a photographer, it was always music. So it's a lot of people that only know me from like, I can't picture you being a videographer, bro. Like, I can't picture, but it's all in the same field.
Yeah.
So I gotta keep them creative juices flowing. It started from art though. It started from me drawing at a young age.
You can draw real good.
Yeah, I was drawing. My favorite was drawing Looney Tunes characters. Man, I used to draw Looney Tunes characters.
Man, you know what? It's something that people probably. One of my first loves, man, was art. I remember drawing. I can remember my earliest days, man, in kindergarten, first grade. My favorite subject to draw during that period of time was dinosaurs. I was hooked on dinosaurs.
Yeah.
And I would draw. I would enter these contests, these drawing contests, and people loved it. And then at a certain age, you know, my teachers started paying me for my drawings. I would draw Bugs Bunny, Looney Tunes, like you're saying, Mickey Mouse and all them. And then my second love was poetry. I won my first poetry contest when I was in second grade.
That's dope.
It was published in newspaper and everything. And so over the years though, you know, those hidden talents,
Mm-hmm.
and you know, I haven't watered them in a long time, but
Yeah.
anytime I need to, like, I guess recreate or re-identify who I am or whatever, I can dig deep and pull something out.
And go back down and
Yeah.
and
But that's something that people
Well,
probably don't even know that I
so-
can draw.
so I started drawing. I don't know what age I started drawing, but I can tell you when I started, because it wasn't music first. It wasn't. Well, I guess you could say it was music first, because you know I used to bang on the pots and the pans and all of that. So I started off with, you know, falling in love with the drums and just the percussion, right? But then it went from, so my mom and my dad used to argue like daily, day in, day out. So I'm 8 years old, bro. I can't go nowhere. I can't run away. You know what I'm saying? I can't pay my own bills. But I'm coming home to this violence every day. You know what I'm saying? It's not, you know, putting your hands on each other, but it's still it's heated arguments, right? So I get a pen and I just start writing my thoughts. Then that turns into me writing stories. And then from me writing stories, turned into me doing poetry. And then I started listening to rap music. And I'm like, oh, I can incorporate what I'm doing on the page to this. And then I started rapping. And so it's always been something creative. And then I got drawing, honestly, you know, just because my dad is an artist. So I started messing with the pen. So it's always been, anytime I get upset, I go to a place, all right, boom. Instead of me flipping out and losing my temper, I'm going to go to this pen and this pad, and I'm going to do something on this piece of paper. You know what I'm saying? So that's always been like an outlet for me. But it started at 8. It's like I used to write stories all day. I mean, if I had that pad, I probably got 50 good stories in there, man. Just for me being a child.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I used to draw so much coming up, man, and then, you know, when I started playing football, I would draw football.
Yeah.
You know, I had all that stuff stored and saved, and I'm going to take that stuff into my now.
Mm-hmm.
It all got destroyed, man. Hurricane Katrina. And I look at, you know, different pieces of artwork as a period of time.
Yeah.
Can't get that back.
Yeah. Right.
So I probably lost about 10 years of my life, man.
A feeling of just
Of emotion.
being able to go to that, because we can mentally time travel.
You know what I mean? But the hardest part is and you probably can never recreate
Well,
what you've done before.
there's nothing that can be recreated. You can do it over,
You can do it over.
but you're not going to recreate what you just
You
created.
can make it better. You know what I'm saying? Or you can completely miss the mark.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But when you go through, you know, 10, 15 years of emotions, doing something that, you know, and then all of a sudden it's gone, like, you know, record of it.
Yeah.
Like, nobody never know I ever done this before.
Right. Right.
But I know I've done it, but I mean, one day I'm gonna lose my memory. I ain't gonna even know that.
Yeah.
Be like, granddad, you know you used to draw? When? I ain't do nothing in 50 years. Like, you know,
Yeah.
oh, I remember that.
Yeah.
Bring back memories, right?
Yeah.
Boom. I can't do that now because all the stuff is gone. I ain't got nothing to memorize from it, you know. So, and that's one of the reasons why I don't get involved in a lot of personal things, because I don't know, I guess it's a fear of not necessarily wasting time, but putting time in motion. It's almost like a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
You put emotion and time into somebody for years and years, and then all of a sudden if it don't work out, you can't get none of that time back.
That time is gone, bro.
Money gone, time gone, energy gone, emotions gone. Now you like, man, do I want to go through this again?
But
Don't want to keep going through this with somebody else, and then somebody, man, at some point, you know what? You know what? Let me find something else. You know what I mean? So I went from drawing to something else.
yeah.
You know, become an entrepreneur. Let me find ways to to create income and make money because I done this right here, man, and I done put some work in, man. I remember I used to be in my room, man, in high school. Like my mom used to have to make me go to bed.
Yeah.
I'd be up all weekend working on the picture. If I mess up on it, boom, I get depressed because I done messed the picture up.
Yeah.
Man, so it's stuff like that that really, you know, that sucks you in when you emotionally attached to something like that.
Yeah.
Even with your music, your music becomes like a piece of your soul.
Yeah.
Every time you lose a piece of that, you're like, man, I ain't gonna ever get that back.
Yeah.
I just, you know, done this, you know, my best work.
Well, I can say, like with me, it's like, so me and Ash, we do a lot of like freestyle. And so it's a challenge. Like even if I don't get it down, like I try to record it, I'll try to turn my phone on. But even if I miss it, it's not cool. Like okay, boom. But next time I'm just gonna go harder. It's just more like it's some things that you like, dang, I'm crazy. But at the same time, it's like it's gone. It wasn't meant for you to keep. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah. Well, I mean, it's good to have. It's good to have something that you can relate to and fall back on.
Yeah.
Whenever the conditions of your life is not at the best.
Yeah.
Like when it's raining outside, when it's storming outside, like how do you channel that energy and still be able to be an individual?
Exactly. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people don't like being in public because people will trample over your dreams and they'll trample over your, like, what you got going on.
Yeah.
The Bible says, do not cast your pearl before swine and do not give withholding to the dogs. Presenting your work to the world so they can just criticize it, pick it apart, critique it, and say, oh, you ain't good enough, go back. And you like, I done put my whole freaking heart and soul to this. You mean tell me this ain't good enough?
So that's when the confidence come in and it's like, hey, it's out there. Like it or love it or hate it.
Gotta be confident.
Gotta be confident.
You gotta be so confident to the fact, and that's why I say if you're narcissistic, if somebody ever accuse you of being narcissistic, is because they're looking at the confidence that you bring, the self-love, the self-worth of who you are. Because if you don't love yourself openly, then people are gonna hate on you openly.
Yep.
Like how many magazines a woman pick up and read that says 8 ways to be beauty or 5 ways to keep a man or 10 ways to have a flat stomach and they look at it coming like my stomach and now they done been taught that they ain't good enough. They gotta go wear freaking eyelashes and contacts and push-up bras and all that just so they can make themselves feel good because the world's saying they're not this. For y'all who just joined us, welcome back inside the den. We are sitting here with good friend Antonio. He's the one that's responsible for the video you see on the show. He's responsible for the flyers you see every week on my Facebook. And we're just talking about black men in general being able to vent and talk to other people for strength and encouragement, and who do we talk to when we need help, and who do the strong get strength from? You know what I mean?
It gotta come from a place of just wanting to be greater, like, and you can't get it from the weak.
So you can't.
Or you just gotta keep equally strong people around you.
You gotta have. First of all, you gotta have a relationship with God.
Yeah.
Second, after that, you got to have a good support system. Because a support system will lift you up even when you are down.
Yeah.
A good support system will look at you and say, come on, dude. You got this. We need you. You know what I mean? That type of encouragement, because it's a lot of days, you know, you might not feel like.
You might feel like it.
I don't feel like a lion at all, bro. Like, I don't feel like I need to be doing none of this, bro. Like, I need to shut this show down. I need to go somewhere into a corner somewhere and just I ain't got damage.
You can't though.
Can't, man. It's too much of a pull, a tug on my life that I have. So and then you don't know
who's watching you, man.
Yeah.
You got people that's watching you that you never know, and the moment you quit, they quit.
Mm-hmm.
As long as you keep going, I got it. Cause my boy A still making it happen.
Yeah.
And you got your kids that's looking at you, man. What kind of man would you be if you quit and your kids looking at you, or if they don't understand the pressure and they don't understand what you're going through?
Mm-hmm.
Like I told you, tell your son, look, it's okay to cry. It's okay not to be okay.
Yeah.
Just understand that you need some help. Let's get some help, because when you're back on your feet, because I took that time to get my mind right because I needed the help.
Yeah.
And I appreciate y'all gonna be in my corner because y'all, but I think that's the essence of true strength, is knowing
Knowing that you need help.
you
They
need
never say, hey, I need some help.
cause I remember being in position, man, driving, back and forth. I remember driving, man, I was dead tired, about to fall asleep behind the wheel.
Yeah.
Had too much pride to pull over. And in my mind, I done swerved 6 times, but
Yeah, you know it.
I ain't telling nobody that I done swerved. And and it's almost to a point where you'd rather risk your life and kill everybody.
Come on now.
You'd rather risk your life and kill everybody than to just pull over and say, I need rest.
Yeah.
Or
Let somebody else drive. That's simple.
I need help. So when you doing your thing and you got so much going on, so much pressure as a man, you doing it, and you like, I'm about to freaking crack up, man. I'm about to blow my brains. I need to do something. Don't keep doing the same thing, knowing that you in jeopardy of
That's
running off the
right.
road.
Just get.
I need the help, man.
That's all you gotta do.
You need the help, and don't be ashamed of. You might not get the help from the first person you talk to. They might make a fool of you, okay? And I don't care, but I need the help.
Yeah.
I refuse to go forward until I get the help.
Yeah.
You just got to, like you said, you got to be sick and tired of being sick and tired. So, I mean, that's my take on the situation, man. You know what I mean? I've been listening to people all week talk about this topic, and I'm glad you came up with this because, it's just one of those things. People need to know that it's okay not to be okay.
Yeah, it is. So,
Any final thoughts, brother? Final thoughts?
Man, just stay on the grind. 2022 is the year. Be on the lookout for my new clothing line. Be on the lookout for my new podcast, Off Topic. My show is going to be, I'm going to be in the casting phase within the next 3 months. Be on the lookout for that. We're going to be casting in the Raleigh, Cary, North Carolina area. Yeah, that's pretty much, that's all my final thoughts.
Well, I want to definitely be a part of it if I can. I don't want to just, bulldog my way in. I ain't going to do no Lucifer type stuff to get on the show. But hey,
I might got
if you need somebody, I'll be willing to help you out, brother.
Yeah.
You help me out every week, man, and I want to return that favor.
Yeah.
Anything I can do to bring to your world, man, and help enlighten your world, man, I want to do it, brother, because you have done a lot for me. And I really appreciate you, brother. And this is the time of the show. I normally pull out a shirt and say, hey, this is to commemorate our time together, but you already got a shirt and you already make the shirts. So if y'all want one of those line inside the den shirts, this is my guy. He makes the shirts, $20 a pop for the shirts. The actual one that you see here is $20 a pop for these shirts as well. I got these shirts and I got these shirts. So yeah, he's one of my guys that makes the shirts. So actually get you a shirt. You want one inside the den, and you'll always be able to spend this time with us. So that's our show for today. Hope you all was entertained, and hope you got some good nuggets out of this conversation. Join us next week, same bat time, same bat channel. Now, before we go, what are your social media platforms where they can get you and get your stuff?
It's Antonio Atkinson on Facebook. It's gonna all be down here or up here or over here somewhere. Antonio Atkinson is Soulful Designs LLC on IG, and that's it.
So that's it? How about Facebook?
Facebook, Antonio Atkinson. I'm gonna have it up here somewhere.
Oh yeah.
In one of these little pockets.
Forgot who I was talking to.
I'm gonna put it somewhere.
Hey, yeah. I'm the guy who I was talking to. He got the power to put all that on the thing. So when y'all watch the show, the edited version will be available Tuesday night. 7 o'clock.
7 o'clock.
Watch it live, watch it edited on YouTube, Inside the Den on YouTube. Subscribe to my channel. And also Inside the Den on Twitch. And Inside the Den on Facebook, Facebook Live, and Daniel Lionsden Evans on Facebook. So that's where we are. That's where you can find us. We'll see y'all next week. Have a blessed weekend. Peace.
Hey,
Stand for nothing, you'll fall for anything.
Yeah.
I'm a lion and ain't nothing but anything. We on fire and my brothers, they on fire too. And we'll fight for each other, that's what lions do.
progression of the team is the purpose of our devotion. You can see that we've been working and really having some motion. None of it was given, you know that we had to hustle. And that's just how it is when you coming up out the struggle. They say it takes a village when you raising a child. And they all turn into your family after a while. We gotta feed into each other, show love to one another. Not a race, but I know we can all finish the mile. When we step up in the den, you letting go of your past. You the only person that can really hold yourself back. The pride and strength of a lion is truly unmatched. Everybody has it when you a part of the pack. Now this ain't the type of place that'll judge you for who you are. We just get you on your way to becoming a superstar. I told you once before and I can tell you again. Come and join the brotherhood if you really just trying to win. What's up?
Brothers need to stick together. As a team, we can make it wherever. Just tell me how you feel. Just tell me if it's real. Brothers need to stick together. As a team, we can make it wherever. Just tell me how you feel.
Tell me how you feel.
Just tell me if it's real.
Tell me how you feel. Inside of the den.
May I introduce myself?